Imagine for a moment your pits smelling like nothing. You don't stink after you work out. Your teenager's foot odor doesn't exist. How is this possible? It's Lumi. Challenge Lumi to keep you funk-free for 72 hours. Go to uglytruth.com/Lumi. You can pick your favorite smell, the favorite type of applicator or stick or tube or wipe, and you will be amazed by your non-smelly body. uglytruth.com/Lumi. Welcome to The Ugly Truth. This is episode 548. Happy Halloween, everybody. Okay, well, it's dropping on Halloween. I think most humans are probably listening to this the day after. Everybody's in their sugar comas, if you so choose to.
Depends on how much candy you actually gave out versus ate, because we made the mistake of buying ours early. And I have been...
you have been. I have been very good.
Crushing the I didn't even open the chocolate because I don't care, but the big bag of sweet tart varieties that you got, I have been today, irresistible.
Well, as per the tradition, the day before Halloween, I'm anxious that we don't have enough candy.
Right.
So we went out and bought some more
Bought a little bit more.
And now I dumped it all in there.
It's huge amounts of candy.
You know what? Maybe we'll have a lot of children this year.
I hope so.
We'll get rid of most of it. I mean, we're not in the suburbs like some people where they go through. I have friends who go through like 10 bags of candy.
I think we're getting a rep though. Like now that families here are getting a little younger, the kids that do live here, like this is a really safe area.
We're no longer the young family.
No, but
we used to be, but now we're not. So now we're like.
We're in the middle, right? Because like it's either pretty
it's
young,
retired,
or us.
It's retired. It's either retired, young family, or us. Yeah, and we're the only us.
Middle. Yeah,
we're the only us. So anyway, happy Halloween, everyone! If you so choose to participate in said activities. Anyway, so you and I have this weird tradition now where we're. Apparently one Sunday a month we're going out for burgers and beer, and I don't even know how that began, but it's been like three months in a row
without, just randomly too, like
where we just go, I feel like a burger, and then next thing you know we're having burgers and beer.
One time it was planned, it wasn't even technically planned. We were going for the fall colors, but we didn't actually plan on burger and beer,
but it ultimately occurred, and so now this is our third Sunday in a row where we've had burgers and beer. I'm not hating it because I'm not a fan of brunch. And so if this is the alternative, I mean, I'm cool with it, and we can always find a beer that I actually like that's not soapy.
If we go to a good place, right?
So I'll do it. Yeah. I'm down.
No, it's really cool.
I'll be honest with you. We went into a restaurant today and it's a great place. The burgers were really good and everything. But I mean, there was nary a mask in sight.
Yeah,
I mean, and I was like, I was telling you is that I'm cool with it. We're getting to the point where it's going to happen. I think they're just kind of waiting around to see how the winter months go. Like, are we going to get another flare up or are we solid? Most of us are vaccinated now. So, people are like, hey, I'm vaccinated. I'm not wearing a mask. Fine, whatever.
I mean, it was not the good news.
But it's so weird how you walk in and nobody's wearing a mask. Like wait staff, nobody.
Yeah, that's the
that's the tell.
The staff
right?
is the tell.
So I walk in the door, and when you see that, do you not immediately think political? Which I hate that I do. By the way, I hate it because it's like
I really was trying to hope that it was like because it was kind of open air. They have it's not just
it's very open air.
It's in. Part of it, most of it is outdoor, part of it is indoor, but even the indoor part, there's like garage door size openings all around.
Warehouse door opening. Yeah, so I thought, and then, I don't know.
At least that's what I was telling myself. The other part of me was like, there's always that possibility the owner's like, everybody here's got their shots, you don't have to wear your fucking mask.
Or they're just like, we don't give a shit,
well,
whatever.
I don't know if they get away with that.
Well, let me tell you, that part of town... They don't give a shit.
I know, but they give a shit about being open.
Well, and they're just newly opened, and we don't know why they were closed in the first place.
Well, yeah.
So anyway, my point is that I really I hate myself
for thinking political
immediately, and it's like, what if?
I hope we get past that.
Well, I hope I get past it personally. And I will be honest, I'm fine doing the mask and all the shit. I can't wait till I don't have to do it anymore. I don't want to wear a mask to the fucking grocery store. I hate it more than anything in the world. Yeah. Hate it. But the side event is I don't have to do all my makeup. I only have to have my eye makeup done. I don't have to, like...
Are people going to forget how to do makeup below their nose?
No, I still do it, but the problem is that I have so many lip glosses and lipsticks that I cannot wear.
Yeah, because it'll just ruin your mask anyway, right?
It's got to be crippling the lipstick industry. It has to be. It has to be. Maybe all of this whole anti-mask thing is from L'Oreal and Estee Lauder. They're just like, we need to get our lips back.
Yeah.
That could be it.
That could be it.
We don't even know. We're never going to know.
We're never going to know.
They'll never know. Yeah. Okay. So we were talking about a bunch of crap when you and I were sitting there, but you had mentioned that you told Josh, your friend, that you were on Twitter, and he's like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean you're on Twitter? Like, he couldn't believe it, right? And you told me he does Reddit. He's on Reddit. By the way, there's an Ugly Truth Reddit. I'm just saying, it's there. It's there. So if you are on Reddit, look us up. Join. There's 4 of us. It's little, but I don't care. I just wanted it. I wanted it. It was for me.
You like Reddit,
because I love Reddit.
That was my point of saying it, though. Is that we were playing our video game last night. We play Call of Duty and every now and then, and he heard me listen to a UFC highlight on the headset in between games. And he goes, what was that? I was Teixeira won the title and he's 100 years old and blah, blah, blah. And I go, and it was on Twitter. And he goes, what?
Is that for old people?
He goes, do you tweet? Are you into the Twitters? He was joking. And I was like, I wouldn't say I'm into it. I have it. I look at it. I don't get Twitter notifications or anything like that. I just look at it occasionally. I check all the social media I have. And he goes, I can't do it. I can't do it. And it was in between games.
Political?
No, I don't know. He didn't actually say. He goes, I just can't do it. But then on the other hand, then he goes, yeah. So I was looking at the Call of Duty Reddit. I'm like, wait a minute. So you can't do Twitter, but you can do Reddit. And I feel like Reddit, depending on what you're thinking about or doing, is worse.
Reddit is Twitter long form. Right. It really is.
Yeah. I guess that was my point. It was like, how is Reddit any different than Twitter other than you're not limited in characters?
Actually, it's way worse depending.
Yeah.
The only thing is most people do not attack your person, like if they can't, because they can't see what you look like. So, and you can use a different username.
Wait, you can't put your picture on Reddit?
I mean, you could post a photo of yourself if you wanted to, but no.
But not like you don't have.
Everybody's
got
everybody has little icons, whatever's, and so yeah.
I'll have to ask him as to why, but I just thought it was a little weird to me that you would take a stand on Twitter but not Reddit.
People call you dumb and retarded and stuff like that all the time, and so
that's no different than any social media.
Exactly. Now, my theory is this is what's really funny about Reddit and Twitter. And maybe it's because it's our age, but even our daughter is this way. If you go, oh, are you on Reddit? And they kind of side-eye you, they're like, well, yeah. Nobody wants anyone in their personal life to know anything about their social media life. So it's like, I had to practically pay our daughter to give me her TikTok so that I could send her videos. And now, of course, she loves it because now she sends me all kinds of videos. But
she's not on my TikTok either.
Yeah, and I said, I
just text them to her, though.
I can't even find you. She goes,
if I text you a TikTok.
I couldn't even find her. And I said, how come I can't find you on TikTok? And she's like, why? And I said, what do you mean, why? What are you doing? What are you posting? And she's like, nothing. I go, and then I'm like, oh my God, did I get the quote unquote, the family only TikTok?
Yeah.
And you actually have another TikTok?
What do they call that?
Well, it used to be Finsta, because you get a fake Instagram, which everybody has more than one. But I don't. But I mean, I don't have that much time to be on Instagram.
I have... I have 3 Instagrams.
Why do you have 3?
I have mine. I have one for my truck, and then I have the one for the podcast that we're going to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm like, what other one do you have?
No, they're all you follow all of them.
Your usernames.
No. I personally have one, and then my truck has one.
So,
and that's actually what's funny is I got more followers on the truck one.
Oh my God.
Than I do on my own.
You know what? You want to be popular on social media? Get a cute animal.
Oh.
Make it a social media account, and there you go.
So speaking of social media, I have something that came across the other day because I'm obviously in the advertising world. So I saw a post on LinkedIn, which is technically social media, but the post was from Patagonia. It's the outerwear company. And the CEO wrote this long-ass post about how Facebook still isn't addressing the original hate speech and things like that reasons that there was that big boycott like a year and a half ago. to the point where Patagonia is still boycotting, and their businesses and the charities they support have suffered because Facebook is a fantastic engine for that kind of thing. And so anyway, so they posted that, and then a friend of mine who I know is in the ad business as well, he only does direct response stuff. Like he's worked for Harry's Shave Kit and all those kind of like direct response places. And so he responded, he goes, listen, I appreciate your stance, but how much money were you really spending there anyway?
It's so cheap.
If you were direct response, could you really like survive without it right now? Because it's so affordable and every penny counts. And I just thought it was an interesting take. He goes, love your stance, but I mean, is it about the stance?
No, crap like this, when almost billion-dollar companies do stuff like that, it's kind of the same theory as, how can there be a Kay Jewelers in the mall? Because they're not making nearly enough money to just be in the mall. It's a bunch of teenagers. But my point is they go there because it's cheap advertising.
Right. It's
You're
for your
walking
brand.
by and you go, look, every kiss begins with K, and you see it a million times. You know,
especially
and that's
those
all
luxury,
this is.
especially the luxury brands. The Louis Vuitton stores and the fancy malls never sell shit. It's not what it's for.
We need to boycott something. That's how we're going to get bigger. We're going to get bigger downloads. We just got to boycott something.
What can we boycott?
But anyway, I found it hilarious because like all of our kids are on Reddit, and I'm like,
they are?
Yeah. See?
Malia too?
Yes. And so I said, well, give me your username. They're like, why? And I said, well, so that I can follow you. And they're like, no.
What's the thing you get? Is it
Karma?
Karma, that's it. Yeah. I have no Karma, but Tyler has Karma apparently.
Yeah, and so I have like 10,000 Karma.
Oh my God, I have one.
Hardly anything.
I've never actually posted anything. I've only looked.
So, but what I love about Reddit is you can get into some of the most bizarre upside down world subreddits.
Yeah.
And I have found some amazing ones.
Yeah.
And what's great about it is they're so satisfying because you find people equally as obsessed about polygamy, perhaps, or Bachelor in Paradise, or the Bachelor subreddits are ridiculous. They're so huge. But it's great because that's where you can sit there and you can like and type and put out your shit. And if you get upvotes or downvotes, you know that you've caused a ruckus, and the whole point is to cause a ruckus.
I don't think anybody on Reddit says the word ruckus.
I have seen a turn to non-profanity lately, I've noticed. Yes.
So we shouldn't fucking talk like that anymore on the podcast?
I was watching something, and someone who clearly uses profanity, they're like, well, I just don't give a dang diddly-do. And I'm like, what?
I wonder if
Is it so badass not to swear now?
Do you think we'd get more downloads if we didn't mark our show explicit?
That is never going to happen.
I know that. I'm just wondering, I know that, but I'm like, I wonder sometimes if it prevents people from checking it out.
I consider it like
it used to be the opposite.
It's a censor sticker. It's the same thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
Some 13-year-old girls can be like, well, why would I want to listen to a bunch of old ladies talk unless they're going to say fuck and cunt? So there you go.
So there you have it. Explicit marked.
I think I speak for multiple people when I say that everybody's feeling a little like we're really getting into the holiday season this year. Last year it was like that too. It's like, oh, we just really want to we want escapism.
We started early last year.
We want fantasy. Sure. We want something to make us feel good because the life feels so difficult. Sure. And so sometimes. And so this week I do love Halloween, and we're going to actually do some good, bad, and ugly later in the episode. But what I do love about Halloween is that they roll out all the horror films, and I do love it. The problem is that now they're showing the same franchise films. They're not really getting into the weeds of the scary shit.
Freddy, Jason, Harry.
Yeah. Which is fine. Yeah. And Stephanie wanted me to watch Halloween Kills, which just came out a few weeks ago Halloween, with Jamie Lee Curtis. It's the latest in the Halloween franchise. Yeah. I don't know why my son and I, because Tyler's a big Halloween aficionado as well because of me, I have never really had any kind of connection to the Halloween franchise. I don't know why. It's John Carpenter. I should love it. I mean, he's amazing.
Is it still John Carpenter though?
I don't know if it is anymore, but I mean, the first 2 or 3 were. And, I mean, and I watched some of them this week. I saw snippets of the original in part 2, and I'm like, well.
I walked into the room yesterday, and you were laughing, and I look at the screen, and it's literally fucking Mike Myers stabbing some old black lady in the neck with a steak or something, and you're laughing, not because she was black, just that's not what I meant. Sorry, that's not what I meant. But you were like, I shouldn't laugh at this violence, but you were laughing.
The thing is that has always been my way since the beginning. Since I was like 14, I started watching scary movies, and when a super ridiculous murder would happen, I'd laugh.
Yeah,
and I don't know what that is.
Well, because you like more slasher, right?
I have a feeling it has something to do with my traumatic childhood.
Maybe, but you like slasher more.
I laugh more like. Okay, show me something impressive, please, because this is outrageous. But come on,
because suspenseful and demonic type stuff, you're not as big. But the
I will
vampire
absolutely watch
and slasher,
anything.
No, I know you will.
But I mean, I get comfort in watching slasher horror, no doubt, and vampire films as well. But no, I was watching Halloween Kills, and I give it, I mean, I'll be honest, I fast forwarded through some of it because I thought it was a little boring.
Yeah, well, they are boring.
But I think I probably watched 3/4 of it, and I found that as the movie starts to wind down, there's less and less really good scenes of murder. And so the beginning is where all the good shit happens.
Sure.
As we get towards the end of it, it's like, there was some stuff I actually didn't like at all. But my best kill in that movie was when he broke into the house. Now, this woman, the black woman that you're referring to, she was in Halloween that came out in 2018.
Got it.
So she was a recurring character, and somehow she survived. So she came into this one.
They can't survive.
Break into the house, and there's an old man, and she's clearly his caretaker. So he gets killed immediately. Nothing, no big deal. He pulls a fluorescent light bulb out of the kitchen. Pulls it down.
Like a long one?
Breaks it in half.
Yeah.
Walks up to her and stabs it in her neck.
Oh my God. That was a light bulb?
It was a fluorescent light bulb. And I was like...
For the record, that would never work.
Started laughing. And I went, that would never work.
No, they would disintegrate.
She would get cuts, and he would probably get in there, but he's not going to get all the way through and kill her.
I thought it was a steak.
No. And so I'm like... This is not realistic.
Well, none of it really is.
This is not realistic. I know, but I mean, that is not... I mean, I appreciate the creativity. 100% appreciate the creativity. But I'm like, she was kind of a bigger woman. That's a lot of skin to get through.
Okay, you're thinking...
I don't think that thing is getting through.
You don't really think about that stuff, do you?
Absolutely. And I would love to be... If someone could please contact me, I would love to sit in the writer's room. I would be happy to offer up my ideas for horror film kills, for a slasher film. I'd be all in on that shit. That's one of the reasons why I like the Friday the 13th franchise so much, because he's fucking creative. Yeah. Jason knows how to kill people creatively. And I appreciate it. That's why I like Rob Zombie movies, which are fucking terrifying, by the way.
I think that first of all, I was deterred from slasher movies or just horror movies in general because of my traumatic experiences. But that would be my bad when we get to the bad, but I'll tell you that story. But, but that's, for me, that's, I never really got into them because I got scared. Of a particular movie way too young and just avoided horror movies altogether. In fact, I would say there were two that just crushed me at the beginning, so I didn't really watch a whole lot later. But I would say from a slasher standpoint, I definitely saw the first Freddy, not in a theater or anything like that, but that was good.
He's the best.
That was really good.
Freddy's good. It got campy at the end.
Yeah, no.
But the first one was terrifying.
The first Freddy is probably the closest thing to a slasher movie I remember seeing while it was out, and not just And now I see them, and they're like, they don't scare me anymore. They're like not that big of a deal. But I never really got into any of them at the beginning because of the movies that I saw when I was way too little.
You're just getting a kind of an inner glimpse into what my soul is really like.
Blair Witch.
Do you remember when I watched the Blair Witch by myself? Yeah. Oh my God,
that shit was scary.
All by myself. Some people think it's dumb. I don't think it's dumb because you know why? That movie requires you to have imagination.
Right.
In of itself, it's probably not scary, but the last minute is what's the scariest. Yeah. But it's like, if you have any kind of wild imagination, which I absolutely do, I was like, ooh, it was so good. I mean, all of that I just like being scared. It was really
unique at the time, too.
Yeah, and I just think I like being scared because and that was my thought. I'm watching all of these, so I've watched every Freddy movie this week.
Yeah.
I watched most of the Halloweens.
I've
watched, there was a few intermittently here and there, random horror films that I was watching.
I watched not the original Dracula. Well, I guess it was the original Dracula, but not the original vampire movie.
We did watch that, and
Bela Lugosi one. It's
so
terrible. It's so terrible.
I'm like, am I supposed to be appreciative because it's art? It just wasn't good to me, and I'm like, I don't remember Bela Lugosi. I don't remember any of this being all that great.
Yeah.
But maybe because I don't know.
Apparently, he wasn't supposed to be.
No, it was supposed
Dracula,
to be Lon Chaney or something.
Chaney,
anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been great. But so I'm watching all of these going, I've either gotten incredibly desensitized because I've seen so much horror, or life is a horror show.
Yeah,
and these films are not a big deal. And that is really where I was going. I'm like, this is not so bad, and who knew that The Walking Dead would be more like today than this?
Yeah.
It's just insane. I'm like, wouldn't it be great if there was just one killer we could get rid of and move on with our life? But anyway, it's been a fun week. Yeah. I've enjoyed it. I have been singing the Willy Wonka song all day because I can't wait to get rid of this candy so that the children can enjoy. I'm super stoked about that.
I hope we get a lot.
I do too. And although it's going to be part of the Good, Bad, and Ugly, I did buy a wig because I love buying a wig every year. So this year I got Harley Quinn,
nice.
the Suicide Squad one, the second one with the long ponytails. And so I'm stoked about that. Yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on in my world. Yeah, I'm going to put it on. I was going to wear it for the show, but I didn't have time.
Did you hear what I said?
Where it went tonight?
That's not what I said.
What?
I said, where are you going to wear it to bed?
Wear it to bed? So you're saying you want to fuck a blonde now? Is that what you're trying to say?
Is it blonde?
Yes.
I thought it was like multicolored.
Well, it's got blue and red in it, but it's predominantly blonde.
I don't know.
Disgusting. We also watched Dune. Mixed reviews for a lot of people, but I really enjoyed it. I personally really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot.
It didn't need to be 2.5 hours if it was only going to be part one. So in that regard, it was a little slow. But having been someone who never read the book,
right, me neither,
never saw the original movie, didn't know anything about it, I think it was a beautifully done film. I thought the acting was pretty decent. So
me too.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, listen, I didn't walk away for 2.5 hours. I mean, I watched it, so it was not,
I watched every frame. I really thought it was lovely.
Great.
Yeah,
I thought
it was just, it's so different than everything that's out there right now. And although Dune is this is officially a reboot because there was a Dune in the 80s, I think. But those kind of movies to me those are okay to redo because you could update with technology and, I know they keep trying to redo Willy Wonka. It's just not going to happen.
Well, that guy from Dune is doing
I know
Willy Wonka.
He is. And I'm not opposed to the actor. I'm more opposed to the fact that when something goes so well the first time, it's really hard to redo it.
Agreed.
Really, really hard to redo it.
The second one was more
Nobody liked the second one.
Book.
Nobody liked it.
No, the second one was more accurate to the book.
Which everyone hated.
I think if this one is done well and is a mix of the book and a good story, we'll see. But
we'll see. I mean, Tim Burton can't do everything. No, that's weird. No. And he, that did not go his way.
This is not Tim Burton doing this one.
No, he did the second one, though, and it was not good.
No, I know.
Okay. It's Halloween, so we're going to do we haven't done one in a long time, the Good, Bad, and Ugly Halloween edition. Do we have a theme song for that?
That's when I dropped the whistle.
Good, Bad, and Ugly?
You would know that if you listen to the show after you record it.
I don't like hearing my voice.
I know.
So I don't.
No, I just throw that. I'm sure the whistle will go right here.
Okay, so Good, Bad, and Ugly Halloween edition. Now the rules are there are no rules.
Right.
Good is your good, bad is your bad, ugly is our ugly, and it can be any memory, story, whatever.
Yeah.
So you start with your Halloween edition. Good.
So good is probably for me is the only costume I remember as a child. I was like a dinosaur alligator thing, and my mom and I made the whole thing. I was probably in 2nd or 3rd grade.
She made you a dinosaur alligator costume?
I mean, it was completely
That's awesome.
handmade.
I bet.
And not sewn. Like, I had big choppers, like
That is
cardboard
awesome.
And yeah, it was probably more like an alligator than a dinosaur, but I feel like it was a dinosaur. But that when I think back to costumes that I've had in the past, that's literally like the only one I can remember when I was actually doing things like trick-or-treating and stuff like that. So
that is so cool.
Yeah,
Did you get a lot of candy? Do you even remember?
Yeah, we used to get a ton of candy. Well,
it's not like that anymore.
Well, what's funny though is that well, you would never go trick-or-treating where I went trick-or-treating now. I can tell you that.
Well, that was back in the day.
I grew up on the streets.
You know what's funny is back then, did your mom go with you when you went trick-or-treating?
Probably not, actually. No.
No, she did not.
No.
Nowadays, can you even imagine?
Just went around the block.
Can you even imagine sending your little tykes out there?
And they used to have, so that was back in the day
the dark,
where they used to have...
going to strangers' house begging for food alone.
I think
unsupervised? Is there one parent listening right now who would ever let their precious 8-year-old go out there?
We have about as safe of a neighborhood as you can, and we wouldn't like...
I would be standing at the corner going, I see you!
No, I think...
Keep it moving! Where's your flashlight?
I think I actually won a prize that year because that was back when they had like a costume parade at the school and stuff like that. So
yeah, times have changed.
Yeah,
they have changed dramatically. My good is it was twofold. One is that I really love getting a wig every year.
Yeah,
I just do. I have so many now. I lend them out, you know, because I just love them. I don't invest a ton of money in them, but I do love them.
Yeah, no.
But the other good memory I have for Halloween. Now we did not celebrate Halloween when we were children, but. You and I went to Disneyland during the Halloween season.
Oh, we did.
And it was fun. And we didn't have kids with us. I think it was the first time we went to Disneyland without kids. It was just me and you.
Yeah.
The Oogie Boogie Monster towered over everything.
Yep.
I mean, we went through the Haunted Mansion during the Halloween season, which is the best.
One, right?
I still have photos of that on my phone because it was so amazing to me. Good. I couldn't believe that we were seeing
That's a really good refresh on that ride.
Oh my God, it's so good.
The lines are through the roof.
We somehow blew on though.
Well, no, but normally it's a very busy time for the Haunted Mansion.
Now it's crazy. Now it's like 2 and 3 hour wait. But that was so fun. Yeah. We got Halloween stuff. We got like Halloween ears and all that. It was a really fun, and it was because we had no children. We're I wouldn't say we're those weirdos that go to Disneyland by ourselves only, but once a year, we'll go. And you know what I love about it is now that I know that there's booze right? And there are places where you can actually tie one on and then go to Disneyland, it's way funner. And there's so many adult things to do if you know how to find it. Then it doesn't feel so weird, you know. But that was probably one of my good Halloween.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Halloween moments. Okay, bad.
So bad is going back to the movies, but it's not technically Halloween, but it's definitely that your talk about movies reminded me of what my bad was. Very first horror movie I ever saw was Amityville Horror in a theater. I was 10.
You know what's funny is if you were able to sit through it now, you'd be like, this is the dumbest movie I've ever seen.
It was scary as fuck at 10 years old.
It was scary back then.
Yeah.
It was terrifying.
And the original Amityville Horror, and then also, I don't remember liking Poltergeist too much later.
Is scary.
That's pretty scary.
That's a pretty scary
But
one
anyway,
too.
I saw that Amityville Horror I saw so young and it damaged me so much. I anything that was termed a scary movie, I just stayed away from after that.
Which is why
I didn't watch any of the slasher movies.
Yeah.
So it's not really Halloween, but that's my bad memory of scary things is that movie. So
yeah, my bad. You were a part of.
Great.
So this is not a poll. This is truly a Halloween. Our children were probably, they must have been like 5 and then like 5 to 8 years old. And we decided to take the kids to Santa Cruz the day or two before Halloween.
Yeah.
I don't know what we were thinking, probably because there was nobody there. And so we went, we stopped and got them Happy Meals, and they came in the little pumpkin, holders, and everybody had their own little pumpkin. And we had a great 48 hours in Santa Cruz. We're in the store and we're like, okay, let's get our little trinket, and then we're gonna head home, you guys, because we got to get the weekend's coming and Halloween's coming and all the stuff. We get all the trinkets, we pile them in the car. And before we can even get in the car, Mackenzie says, I don't feel good. And she proceeds to vomit in the garbage can in front of the store we were at. And I'm like, oh no, she doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Get her in the car. No less than 20 minutes. Every 20 minutes, all the way home, one after another, every child started getting sick.
Yeah, it was bad.
Everybody was throwing up in their pumpkins. Every single one throwing up in their pumpkins.
Side of the vehicles.
We walk in the door, you throw up, and then I threw up. We all got sick. I don't know if it's food poisoning or the flu. It must have been food poisoning.
Yeah.
I have never seen. It reminded me of
like
Stand By Me.
Family Guy. Oh yeah, on the ride.
I'm getting a little nauseous thinking about it, but it's like in Stand By Me where everywhere's just a puke fest and everybody's just throwing up. That's exactly what it was like, and I was like, I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween.
Wow.
What's happening? Worst Halloween ever. And I do remember that the kids did ultimately go out, but I don't remember there being a lot of candy eating. I don't remember there being a lot of a feast going on.
I forgot that happened on Halloween. I remember this story, but I forgot it was so close to Halloween.
And we threw those pumpkins away. And of course, some fools like, can we keep our... No! We were throwing them all away.
Gross.
Over. I'll buy you another one. They're $1. Stop. Anyway, do you have an Uglee?
I do actually. Okay. And this is on Halloween night. I was probably 16, something like that. And went with about 20 friends to Berkeley and watched Rocky Horror Picture Show in a theater.
Nice.
I had never seen the movie. And so, and if you see it, on a Halloween night in a fucking freak show like Berkeley.
Right.
And they do the whole audience participation thing. It was fascinating. I even went out and found there was a record store not too far from there that was really popular. I forget what it was called, but it was like where you went to get all the classic records and stuff. And I have to this day an LP of the Rocky Horror Picture Show soundtrack, but with the audience participation on it. So they record it so you can hear what everybody does.
You still have it, I think.
Yeah, still have it. But yeah, that's... And I don't think I've ever really watched it again because once you see it like that, like what's the point of sitting in your fucking living room and watching it? It's lame.
I think I would do that one day.
So yeah, that was my
kind of have to pick a character though and go, right?
Not everybody dressed up. You don't have to dress up to participate because they basically act it out in front of the screen. There's professional
if you're
people.
Going to dress up like a character, you better know what your part is.
Right. So they act it out like you're watching a play with the screen going on behind you, and then there's tidbits in between, like the one that everybody knows when somebody goes a toast. People literally fucking bring toast. And they,
That's the part you told me about.
Yeah, so when they have, I think there's a scene where they have sex and people literally have water pistols with liquid soap in them and they shoot them in the air. Yeah,
that's disgusting.
So anyway, I think it's a fold-out album, so it actually tells you what to do and everything.
Squirt.
But anyway, I don't know.
This is where you squirt everyone.
Yeah.
I know how to do that.
Oh, God. Anyway.
Actually.
So that was an Uglee.
I digress. My Uglee is the year that my sisters, all four of us, went to the Exotic Zone Ball.
Oh, that's right.
Now
hated that night.
There's a big one in, I don't even know if they have them anymore, but there was a big one in San Francisco. And so this
Erotic Zone Ball.
Yes. And so they were basically mimicking that for Sacramento. Yeah. And they took over the Cal Expo area. And so we all went. And first of all, if you love to people watch like I do, I have to tell you, it is probably it is a feast for the eyes. That was the best part for me, was just looking around and watching all the people. But there, for example, there was
What did you all go as?
I went as a beer girl.
Like an Oktoberfest
Oktoberfest girl. Stephanie was a nurse. Paula was a fairy, like a fairy.
Tinkerbell
fairy. And then Allison, I don't even remember. Like Little Red Riding Hood or something like that. Okay. So we're all wandering around and...
all slutty versions of those costumes.
Well, of course. And I had, shout out to Leslie in LA, who took me to a stripper store down in LA, and I bought stripper shoes.
Oh, that's right. And do you still have those?
I'm sure I do. Yeah, things? They're expensive. I kept those things. Anyway, I had them. And let me tell you, I'm awkward. I had no business wearing those shoes.
Sober, let alone drinking.
I didn't, though. Hadn't been drinking, but I mean, I had no business wearing those out in public. Are you kidding me? Like, what was I was begging for a broken ankle.
Yeah, for sure.
So we go. My favorite part, though, was there was a human petting zoo.
Yeah.
where you could wait in line and be quote unquote petted by hands. So I'm like, I'm not doing that. First of all, I don't want to be molested. Second of all, we don't know who these people are. What if they're disgusting pigs? And so I walked around and I looked. They were disgusting human beings. They were the grossest men I've ever seen.
They were carnies.
There was a dude where he turned and he saw me and he was like, like that. He was like a little overweight. He was obviously dressed up like a 70s guy, but he had his thing unbuttoned down to his belly, but his belly hanging out and a big old gold chain. Gross. And I'm just like, never in a million years. And then I'm looking at these hot little girls and getting petted. And I'm like, you have no idea what you're doing, or you don't know what you're doing. But stuff like that was great. We went on stage. There was a cover band playing, and for some reason,
Paula knew
I'm not going
right?
to say who, but one of my sisters happened to have slept with the lead singer of said cover band many years before, and he remembered her, which is not surprising. And so he had us come up. So we were behind a curtain on stage, so you could just see our shadows dancing and stuff.
Like silhouette.
And there was a huge crowd, and they're all, like that. I bend over, because I have this cute little thing, so I bend over like that. I go, Stephanie Spank Me, she beat the shit out of my ass. And I'm like, okay, no, that's not. And I'm like, no. And then it turns into sisters immediately. And I'm like, don't hit me like that. And it's like, all right, ladies, you're done. You're done. But we rolled in at like 3 a.m.
I remember.
Rolled in like 3 a.m. I had hypothermia. There's no doubt about it. I was absolutely freezing. I never got warm. And then because you were so not happy that I went, we had to go to a cheer competition the next day, and you were like, you're fucking going to this competition. And so I had to get up, and I had rolled my ankle. I couldn't even walk. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to stay home. I'm like, oh, like hell you're staying home. You made me go. I was out of my mind. I was exhausted. I was hungover a bit.
Yeah.
I had like 3 hours of sleep. And I couldn't walk on my fucking ankle. And for some reason, I must have felt bad because I went. Because if you had done that to me today, I'd be like, no, fuck you. I'm not going. You're going. And I'm going to stay home. That's how that's going.
I'm sure I tried to guilt you into going.
Oh, you totally did.
Yeah.
Oh, 100% did.
Sounds like me.
You wouldn't do that to me now.
No.
I'm stronger
back
now.
then, yeah. Well, I'm not as insecure now as I was then too.
Anyway, so that was my ugly moment. But yeah, it was quite a night.
That's textbook ugly.
That's one for the canon.
For sure.
Yeah. So anyway, I would love to hear other people's. Do people have moments like that? I mean,
of course they do.
I want to know about them. Although I saw a tweet yesterday and it said, Happy Halloween to everybody who's going to make a really poor costume decision and regret it 10 years from now. Which is very true.
Well, of course people do it. You're probably going to do some Halloween HUglee moments.
I do have some Halloween HUglee moments. I do.
There's got to be.
Yes. In fact, we can just get into that right now, actually.
All right.
I have 4.
Okay. Oh, good.
So let's do some HUglee and awkward moments of the week, Halloween edition. I was the class clown and thought it would be funny to come to school dressed as our teacher for Halloween. I showed up early and sat at the teacher's desk. Then the teacher comes in dressed as me and sat at my desk. I guess he overheard my plan. That's pretty awesome.
Brilliant.
Actually. That's really cool.
Brilliant.
That's a cool teacher.
That's a good one.
The doorbell made our Great Dane nervous, so we gave him some vet Xanax to relax for the night. This is for Halloween, obviously. Sure. But he was so stoned that at one point he walked out the front door and peed on someone's dad. And Great Danes are terrifyingly huge.
Why is that dog in your house?
They're huge. Very sweet, though.
Speaking of, that reminds me.
What?
That you found, if we ever got a chance to dress up Bodega, that you found the perfect costume.
Oh, he's going to be the wolf, and he's going to be the Little Red Riding Hood. Yeah, the grandma, Little Red Riding Hood.
But you dress him up like Grandma Wolf.
Well, it'll be kind of like, actually what it really is the wolf in Shrek. Yeah. When he's sitting, he's like, what?
Yeah, with like a bonnet.
Yeah, that'll be our dog.
He'll love it.
One time my mom did a full witch costume, green face and all. The neighbor asked, finally dressed as your true self, I see. She said, no, I modeled it off of your wife's wedding photos. We don't speak to them anymore. To be fair, he was rude for no reason. I wish I was that quick thinking. I would love that. Me, I just go, yeah, well, fuck off. That's all I can think of.
Right.
Okay, and the final one, Matt. I egged my own house drunk, and in the morning it was all cleaned up. I lived alone.
What?
Yeah.
Somebody cleaned his house?
I guess so. And he egged his own house, and someone cleaned it up.
Idiot. Wait, that happens in Family Guy, doesn't?
What?
Chris and
what is with your thing with Family Guy today?
I don't know.
You mentioned it like 3 times.
Because they all these things that happen on Family Guy.
All the things are happening on Family Guy.
Well, there's been 20 years of episodes, so I suppose that's possible.
Or how stupid were we the other night watching...
Oh, this is really funny.
Watching a preview for the live Annie on NBC, which looks just as dumb as they all do.
The live
they're
action
doing
one.
it was on Saturday Night Live. It was you'll have your da 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 da. The Annie song where she comes into Daddy Warbucks' house.
Yeah.
And then we both look at each other. We're like, I thought this was a Family Guy song from like season 2. We had no idea this was actually a song based on something else.
So uncultured.
God. Well, it just shows you where we're getting our culture. Family Guy. Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Jesus.
All right. Well, it's getting to the witching hour. And
we gotta get ready to hand out some candy.
Although, well, you know what? If this drops and you are wandering the streets with your spawn and you want to listen to us while you go, then by all means, do that. We all know everybody's quote unquote.
Maybe I'll put spooky music under the whole episode.
Our Starbucks mugs that we're all taking with us this evening will be full of non-alcoholic beverages. None of us are going to steal our children's Reese's peanut butter cups.
No,
that's never going to happen. And we're not going to just take our cut before they're even done with, their bath.
Check the candy.
That's right. That's one of the benefits of having children is you get to take what's theirs.
Right.
Over and over and over again.
Damn it.
Although they will cock block you till the day you die.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's the truth. Nobody tells you that.
Even when they don't live with you.
Nobody tells you that when your kids move out, even if they're just in college, they will fucking cock block you.
So bad. And they don't even
know.
It just happens.
They couldn't even live in the state and they'll still do it.
Oh my God, it's so true.
Okay.
All right.
Have a happy Halloween, and then we're jumping in. Sparky is coming. Sparky Griswold.
Coming, baby.
He is at the door.
When we were at the Target today, there was a couple in the holiday section, and the husband goes, "See, I told you, skipping right over Thanksgiving."
Well, there's no decorations for Halloween.
That's what I thought,
it's the same. It's still the pumpkin thing, really.
It's still fall and autumn. All right, I'm gonna go finish my pumpkin. We're gonna get the candy ready.
Yes.
I'm gonna produce this show right quick, which is also known as post as is with no editing. Although I might add some scary music.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.